Hey everybody, we're back with old Fast Draw. This is where we got last time painted. Now I'm going to go right in now, and I'm going to paint the whites of the eyes, back here the cuffs, and I'm going to paint the pistol handle grips white. So let's go in here and mix our paint. This is once again folk art paint. I'll put about 3. Well, it's kind of watered down anyway. I keep it watered down. I don't like it real thick when I'm doing, especially eye. Oh, that's the wrong brush. Excuse me. I got to clean that one out. Here's the brush I'm wanting. I need to add just a little bit more water. It's a little thick. Let's see, I'm going to put a little bit more water in there. I'm going to paint these cuffs of the pants first, right back here. And I just put a little bit of paint on my brush. Come in here and start painting these blue jean cuffs. I want the grain to show through, so you can see it. Right there is grain, you can see. All right, let's paint this other one. Now I just put my brush in there just slightly and let it soak up just a little bit of paint. Okay, now let's go ahead and paint these little handles up here. I'm doing the white because I want this to kind of represent like a pearl handle on a pistol grip. Whether they would have had pearl handles at the time, but I just like the looks of it. Bring it on down. Now the rest of it I'll paint silver, the gun. Now I'm going to wash my brush out here. And I'm going to paint these inner eyes up here. And I get me a little brush about like that. Come in here. And I go across where my pupil will be also. Like that. And just about like that right there, where you can see the whites of the eye. Now, I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and we're going to go and we're going to paint some. I painted a couple of these silver conchos here. I'm going to go ahead and paint that, and I painted the buckle. So we're going to take, I'll show you paint right here. This is a metallic folk art silver paint. I shake it up, and I just work out of the cap. I'm going to take, now I use one brush on my metallic paints, and usually it's because it's for stuff what I'm doing, small metal type pieces. I'll paint that there. One here. Like that. Well, let's see. Now we got to come around here, and I'm going to paint that top buckle silver also. That went right there. Let's see, we need to paint the silver over here on the pistol. So I'm going to get in here and start painting the area where the pistol is. And I don't water this stuff down. I keep it right out of the bottle. Now, there has been occasions I have done that, but I like using it full strength. It gives a good effect. And over here on this side of the trigger guard, I didn't put a whole lot of detail in there. You don't see that very much anyway. Now I've got to put this little area right in here. And this gets kind of tricky. I'm going to leave it just like that. I didn't carve it down below there. I do need to go in with some white paint though and get that underneath there. But let's clean this brush out. I'm going to set that paint there and just dip my brush in there a little bit. I kind of wipe it off first to get all that metallic off in my rinsing water, because you don't want to get metallic on the rest of part of your carving. Now, I'm going to go back up underneath right here and paint some white in there, since I didn't bring that all the way around like that. Okay, now let me set this down here, Peyton, and we're going to still do another. We're going to do some metallic gold buttons. Now you see this red here I've got mixed up. Excuse me. I've been working on this Santa here. I'm painting him. That's one of my good list Santas right there. But I just wanted to show you. That's why I have that red paint there. Okay, now back to where I was at. I've got these buttons to do. I'm going to do those in the gold. So let me get the gold here. That paint jumped out of my hand. Okay, this is the metallic gold, and it's by Folk Art. So I'll kind of shake it up and put that out of my way so I don't spill it. Make sure you don't have it on right there on my fingers. That would have gone on my carving. Okay, I'm going to take my metallic brush again, dip it in my gold, and come in here and paint my little gold buttons. Well, that's all you need on them buttons like that. We'll close this back up, and I'm going to set this here, clean my brush out again, Peyton. And I think I'm pretty much done for that. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to, well, you don't have to cut off, Peyton. I'm just going to kind of dry these button areas, that metallic paint. to get it somewhat dry. And usually you can touch it. Okay, now back to up here. I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to take this little thin brush, and I am going to go over this, put me a little bit more white in there on the white of my eyes. And now I'm going to dry that, and we're going to put on the pupil. And for this guy, I'm just going to use a solid black. I'll show you. I dip my brush in it. And then carefully go in. Now this is where I do use the tube black. And it's basically for eyes. And then I also have a tube of white that if I dry brush anything, I may dry brush this up here to give that mustache and sideburns and the hair a little color. But let's open this up, and we're going to put in the pupils. And I take this and I get in here. Let me get the light. And I put my brush just a very tip in like that. Set that down. Grab my carving, come over here, and where I drew that pupil, I'm going to paint it in like that right there. There's number one. They don't need to be big. I don't like them big. I like them a little smaller. Makes them makes my cowboys look real shifty-eyed. Now I'm going to paint this one in. Like that right there. Now I'm going to, once again, I'm going to clean my brush off. And I'm going to dry that because I'm going to put in a little reflection dot with that white paint that I have. And it does, when you put it on full strength like that, it doesn't take long for it to dry. And you can pretty much look at it and tell when it's dry. And that looks pretty good right there. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a little white reflection dot right here and right there. And I have carved me a little, this is a little skewer, wooden skewer that I picked up somewhere. But I take my paint, my white thick paint, and I go in and I just put the very tip end of that paint on that skewer, and then I come in right here and put me a little reflection dot there. I'll need a little bit more paint on that one. Let's see here. There just wasn't enough paint on that one. Now, there we go. Now, that really gives that eyes a good effect on that. Now, I'm going to wipe that off. And once again, after I get that in, I'm going to kind of dry it off. and let it, so when I touch it, I'm not going to get paint on my hand and get it at other places. How much time we got, Peyton?
We got about 10 minutes.
How many?
10.
Oh, okay. We're about finished up on this guy. I'm going to mix some black, and I'm going to give him the 5 o'clock shadow, and then we're going to put in the blush. And on this, on the shadow, I just really go thin on it. So I just put one little drop in there to quite a bit of water. I'm probably going to need a little bit more water in here. Because I don't want it black like that, but I want a dark shadow in there. So I'm going to come in right here and put in that 5 o'clock shadow. That's a good color right there. And when I put some antiquing on it, it'll darken it somewhat too. But you don't want that white wood color in there. And you want to get it underneath. Come down on that neck just a little bit. And right up in here. Okay, that's a pretty good 5 o'clock shadow there. Can you see that all right there, Peyton? Yeah, okay. Now, let's put the blush on the nose and under the eyes and on the lips. Let me get that old brush cleaned off good there. Now, for this, I use what's called tomato red, and that's the brand right there. But I mean, you can get any kind of brand, but usually I use tomato spice or tomato red. It does a good flesh. A good blush color. So generally I'll take that and I'll set my brush in there just a little bit and put me a dab on my palette there. And let me close this back up so I don't spill it. Now I'll take some water like that, and with my brush and this, I'll start mixing me up a good blush color. I know it looks pretty thin, but you want to get all them little flakes stirred up in there, because sometimes if you don't have them in there, you can see them on your carving. Yeah, but it looks like a good right there. Now, first of all, I come in right here and I do the lip. Right in here. A little bit of color there. Then I come in right in here on the cheek area. And you can bring it on down to that, almost to that old 5 o'clock shadow. Because we want him kind of to have like a sunburn look on his face. Right here on his nose, we'll get that painted in there. Now also, I'm going to take this blush and come up here on my ear. You know, at the edges of the ear, I'm going to just kind of give it a little bit of reddish tint. Like that. And let's do it over here on this ear. Okay, now, I like to come in also and kind of put some right here on my knuckles area. Just like that. Now, what I want to do now is I'm going to dry this blush area, and I'm gonna put on another coat. Because when you dry it, you can see if you need another coat on it. I want a little bit more reddish tint in this area here. So once again, my paint is very, very thin. But I like to get even if you get these a little too dark, when if you put an antique on it, it'll tone it down. But even still, you can see that grain through that wood. I mean, through that paint right there. Let's see. When I look at it in the light, that to me, that's all really the tint that I want on this particular carbon. Now I want to look at it and see if we've got everything painted, and it looks to me that everything is painted. Now I'm going to dry this, and what I'm going to do is show you how I put on my Minwax, but I'm just going to do the hat. I'm not going to do the whole carving because I'm inside the house and I don't want to smell up where we're at right here. So let me dry this real quick. That's good. Okay, now I'm going to set my paint tray over here, get it out of the way so I don't spill anything. Now this right here, oh, I don't have my screwdriver. Peyton, cut off just a minute and let me get my screwdriver. Okay guys, now I'm going to put my Minwax on, and like I said, I'm just going to do the hat here. And I'll do it here, and then I'll take it out in my garage is where I do the most of this stuff here. But I can show you right up here on the hat. Now this is a Minwax wood finish. It's a 209 natural, semi-transparent. I put this on 3 coats, and in between the coats, I let each coat dry about 20 minutes, and then I wipe off the excess. And I do that 3 times. And then on my 4th time, I take this, and in a little saucer, I put some of this 209 natural, and then I dip my brush into this golden oak stain. And it's by Minwax. And it's pretty thick, but so you just dip your brush in it to get your desired color. Now I'm going to open this up. And the reason why I'm doing just the hat is because I don't want to smell up my kitchen. And okay, let me put that down. And I just use these old disposable brushes. Now I clean them out occasionally. Now I take this, and when I put it in, see, you can tell it darkens the wood. It's a clear stain, but when you put it on, it'll darken that wood color, or your paint rather, is what I'm trying to say. And like I said, I do this 3 times all over your carving. And in between each coat, I let it dry for about 20 minutes. And then I on the 4th one, I do put that little golden oak stain in there. Now, I'm going to say I let this set for about probably 20 minutes, and I'll wipe it off. But I'm going to go out when we finish up and finish the whole thing. But let me put the top back on here, and let me get this. That's one of my old mallets I use. And I'll hammer that thing back down, set this out of the way. And I did want to show you, guys, we're about finished on that guy. Oh, and by the way, if you want a little bit, after that 4th coat, if you want a little bit of sheen, more sheen to your carving, you can put a little bit of polyurethane satin spray on your carving all over, and it'll enhance it a little bit. But that's the carving, guys. And we went from this old rough out right here to this guy here. Now, I did take off this here and the fringe, and I've got one that I've done like this too. It's listed on my website, and so is this one here. But anyway, guys, with that, I hope you enjoyed the video and got a little bit out of the painting demonstration. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.